this microphone ain't working too well. So I'm going to try to sound off like I got a pair. Thank you, sir, for the elegant introduction. I do have to say that this is a lifelong top 5, okay? But being the both extremes of the pendulum kind of guy I am, you know, the first comment I made to Staff Sergeant Yee and now Master Sergeant Rise, are you guys serious? You guys can't find anybody sportier than me? I'm just an old rock chucking Master Guns. Most of y'all are petrified of me. I see it in your eyes. Until you stop and talk to me a little bit and say, well, maybe he is human. Well, one of the funniest moments occurred at just at last year's Marine Corps ball. The missus and I just got a cocktail from up at the bar, and we turn around and there's a PFC standing there, wide-eyed, spitting on himself, and he strangely requests to touch my chevrons, stating that he had never seen a Master Guns before. Like I'm some sort of mythical half-man, half-goat, and god of all rolling stock and mechanical things and stuff. That's one for the beer drinking story list. No kidding. And my wife tells me all the time that I am a good piece of gear. So, I digress.
That he is.
That is one thing I must do also here tonight. I have to thank my wife, Lori, for allowing me to be her husband. And to yet again pledge her my undying love and eternal devotion. It was about a year ago on this, about a week ago, Halloween night. I got down on one knee in front of all the little and big trick-or-treaters. Because it's only one of the few times a year you can actually get everybody all together in one place at one time. And she was a vision of loveliness, elbow deep in pumpkin cookie batter, dressed to the nines in her happy Halloween sweater. And I asked her to allow me to be her husband, which she did on May 1st of this year. I love you, sweetheart.
I love you too.
And those of you who do not pay your significant others the same amount of respect, you need to do so right now, because they are the embodiment and they are the support behind you that allows you to do the things that you do. All right, I'm going to do something I don't get much of an opportunity to do anymore. I'm going to let the old Master Guns out for a while and let him breathe. Lori tells me all the time, who is that guy? You're not my husband. He's scared. Just ask her, she'll tell you. Well, you may or may not have picked up on the fact that I've served in a multitude of MOS fields, not really common for Marines. I was a gunslinger, served ops, logging, filled some officer billets, did a few combat tours, Desert Shield, Desert Storm, Iraq and Afghanistan, served both in division and air wing units equally. I spent many days of my life out in the dirt of 29 Palms, serving on 23 CAX exercises. For those of you old enough in the room here to remember the term CAX. Right? What do they call it now? Mojave Viper, or Improved Mojave Viper? They probably changed the name again since then. Yeah. And I have been to every level of PME possible in order to hone my warfighting skills. I'm currently the Acquisition Logistics Liaison Manager here at MGA. So, after 30 years of focusing on locating and closing with the enemy, I got that going for me. That's all right. Come on, go ahead and laugh. It's funny. There's at least one future logistician sitting out there amongst you all right now. You know, basically I thought to myself to talk to you all about what I've learned over the last 30 years of leading Marines. Well, I've only learned about 8 things. It'd take me about 60 seconds to share them with you. I thought I'd get the structured portion out of the way here up front, so I can talk about anything that I want. So here goes. Number 1, seek brilliance in the basics. Always do the right thing and have a plan to kill everyone you meet. Yeah, let it go. You know, occasionally through here, let me run this here. Occasionally through this episode here, I will make the request of you all to give me one. Yeah. And you are to give me in return a roof-shattering hoorah. So let's, for instructional purposes only, give me one. There we go. Number 2, if you are riding at the front of the pack, look back every now and again and make sure the pack's still there. Alright? But then equally so on the other end of the pendulum, unless you are the lead dog, the view never changes. Number 3, never enter an hour-long firefight with only 5 minutes of ammunition. And this one is totally related and very important. Always remember that your weapon was manufactured by the lowest bidder. Give me one. All right. If you're not shooting, and I can see by some of your marksmanship badges that you are challenged in this area, you had better be communicating or reloading for another Marine. Number 6, there are 3 types of leaders. Those who learn from reading, those who learn from writing, and those who still have to touch the electric fence to get the message. Anything worth shooting is worth shooting twice. Number 7, ammo is cheap, life is expensive. And number 8, you might want to write this one down, never slap a grown man who's got a mouthful of chewing tobacco. All right, now that I put that check in the proper military instruction block, are there any questions? Of course not. What a stupid question to ask a bunch of Marines so close to a U.S. Army officer's fully stock bar. Give me one. Yeah! All right, I got a few minutes left, so let's talk about something that I like. Marines. Up front, let me tell you how much I admire you. And why is that? Because unlike the vast majority of your fellow citizens, you stepped forward and committed yourself to a greater cause without concern for your personal safety, and you did it knowing that you would gain nothing in return, except for the honor and cherished privilege of earning the title of Marine. Individually, you're as different as apples and oranges, but you are linked for eternity by the title Marine and the fact that you are a part of the finest fighting force that has ever existed in history. 240 years to prove it. Give me one. Yeah! If you haven't picked up on it yet, I kind of like being a Marine. And I like being around Marines. Like most of you are probably thinking, when I came into the Corps in 4 years and 4 years only, then a strange thing happened. You know, I was having so much fun, I just forgot to get out. Hell, at this point, I'm thinking seriously about making the Corps career. So what is it that I like about Marines? That's the easy part. I like the fact that you always know where you stand with the Marine. With Marines, there's no middle ground, there's no gray area. There are only missions, objectives, and facts. Give me one. I like the fact that if you are a self-declared enemy of America, that running into a Marine unit in combat is your worst nightmare, and that your health record is about to get a whole lot thicker or be closed out entirely. I can personally attest to this from some of the Iraqi prisoners that I have had in my charge who were told not to engage the Marines, the brown suiters. They will hunt you down and kill you. Do not engage them. They will not stop your pursuit. And from the Desert Storm ones, I was actually told that the initiation to gain entry into the Corps, they know what I'm talking about. Or gain entry into the Corps is getting killed with our parents. Like, seriously? I like the fact that Marines are steadfast and consistent in everything we do, regardless whether you agree with us or not. That Marines hold the term politically correct with nothing but pure disdain. Marines stand tall and rigid in their actions, thoughts and deeds, when others bend in the direction of the wind and are about as confused as a dog watching a ceiling fan. I like the fact that each and every Marine considers the honor and legacy of the Corps as his personal and sacred trust to protect and defend. I like the fact that others say they want to be like us, don't have quite what it takes in the pain-gaining pride department to make that happen. I like the fact that Marines came into being in a bar, Tom Tavern, and Marines today still gather in pubs, bars, slop shoots to share sea stories and hot scoop. I like our motto, Simple for Mallas, and the fact that we don't shed it when the going gets tough or the battlefield gets deadly, or when we hang up our uniform for the last time. I haven't hung mine up yet, as you can see. even though the Commandant told me that my 30 years are up. I like the fact that Marines consider the term Marines take care of their own as meaning we will give up our very lives for our fellow Marines if necessary. I like the fact that Marines know the difference between chicken salad and chicken shit. And are not afraid to call each one for what it is. I like the fact that Marines have never failed the people of America, and we don't use words like can't, retreat, or lose. Chesty said it best, we're surrounded. That simplifies our problem. Give him one. I like the fact that the people of America hold Marines in the highest esteem, and that they know they can count on us to locate, close with, and destroy those who would harm them. I like the fact that some years ago, an elected member of Congress felt compelled to publicly accuse the Marine Corps of being radical and extreme. I like the fact that our Commandant informed that member of Congress he was absolutely correct and thanked him for the compliment. I like the fact that Marines are Marines first, regardless of what your age, race, creed, color, sex, national origin, how long you served, or what goals you have achieved in life. There are only shades of green in the Corps. Let me give you one example. A young man enlisted in the Navy in World War I. When the war was over, he shipped over to the Army. He next enlisted in the Marine Corps and served from 1920 to 1922. There wasn't no Air Force back then, so I guess he felt he had all the checks in the blocks. He then went on to get himself an education, receiving various degrees in engineering, history, political science from Montana State University and UCLA. He next entered politics, served for 11 years in the House of Representatives. Next, he went to tackle the Senate, where he served for another 24 years, both as the Democratic whip and the Senate Majority Leader. He was then appointed as the Ambassador to Japan for another 11 years. This gentleman went from snuffy to national to international prominence. And when he passed away in 2001, he was rightly buried up in Arlington. Find yourself up there and you want to visit his grave, well, look for him near the Kennedy Eternal Flame where so many politicians are laid to rest. You look for a small common marker that's shared by the majority of our heroes. Look for the marker that says Michael J. Mansfield, PFC, U.S. Marine Corps. See? Senator Mike Mansfield, like each of us gathered here tonight, was prouder of being a Marine than anything else in his incredible life of national service. There's one thing for darn sure I've learned over the last 30 years. Years fly by, the names change, the weapons and gear changes, political leaders and agendas come and go, national priorities and budgets change, and the threat to our nations change. But through it all, there has been one abiding constant. The basic issue, do or die Marine. Give yourselves one. He or she will do damn near anything asked under the most terrible conditions with better results, fewer complaints than any civilized human being should have reason to expect. And we who have the privilege of serving and leading them make our plans to execute crucial missions based primarily on one fact of life. The basic Marine will not fail his country, his Corps, or his fellow Marines. That they will overcome any threat if allowed to do so. Give yourselves one. Think about that, and remember, for 240 years, it has worked and kept the wolf away from America's door. I like Marines because being a Marine is serious business. We're no social rod and gun club, no frat organization, and we don't pretend to be. We are a brotherhood of warriors, nothing more, nothing less, pure and simple. Bottom line up front, no matter how technology transforms the battlefield, the old Corps passes to the new. We're in the ass-kicking business, and unfortunately these days, business is good. Don't you worry about that. What you need to remember is that the mere association of the word Marine in a crisis is an automatic source of confidence to America and those who stand with us. As Marines, our message to our foes has essentially been the same. It's knowing that when we wake up in the morning and our feet hit the deck, the devil himself says, damn, they're awake. I know most of you here tonight are two types you can tell, Bubbas. But regardless of what MOS you now have, if you don't already know it, Being a leader of Marines is just about as much fun as you can legally have with your clothes on. And that's true regardless if you are a grunt, a data dink, spark chaser, bean burner, wire dog, butt plate, Remington Raider, rotor head, fast stick, legal beagle, cannon cocker, tracker head, skivvy stacker, box kicker, or dual fool. If you don't believe it, trust me, you will. Why is that? Because each of us fought to gain the title of Marine. It wasn't given to us, we earned it. And on the day we finally became Marines, an eternal flame of devotion and fierce pride was ignited in our souls. Are you feeling it?
Ruh.
Marines, don't fool yourselves. You and I both know it. You have some challenging times and emotional events in front of you. And I am not talking about tomorrow morning's headache. I'm talking about the fact that the world is a dangerous place, and as Marines, you are walking on world events. You're a walking point on world events. Make sure you keep that flame burning brightly. It'll keep you warm when times are hard. It'll provide you light in the darkest of nights. Use it and draw strength from it, just as the generations of Leathernecks have done since our beginning. I think of these things often, and when I do, I think about Marines like you. Now there are those of you out here right now who are wondering, am I up to this? Forget it. You will be magnificent, just like Marines have always been. I realize that some of you young Marines are going to be the been there, done that warriors, and you will wear the decorations to prove it. What you need to know is that we all respect and admire you. Your brother and sister Marines want and need your leadership. All you have to do is never fail them in this regard, and everything will turn out great. You hold up your end of the bargain, and you will not fail. And I'm pretty sure I can speak for the entire group of distinguished guests here tonight when I say, we admire you, and we would trade places with you in a minute to do it all over again. So, Lori's going to kill me for this. If you're interested in giving up a building in order to be the acquisition logistics manager at MGA, see me at the bar. All right, one last thing. When you check into your next unit and travel on that fantastic voyage that only Marines will allow our allies to survive. So Marines, on behalf of the generations of Marines who have gone before you, thank you for having the audacity to accept the challenge of being a Marine. Thank you for your love of your country, and thank you for your lifelong commitment as a United States Marine. God bless you all. God bless America. God bless the Corps. Happy birthday, Marines.
MGySgt, thank you for those motivating words on our 240th birthday. From the warfighters of Marine Detachment Fort Belvoir to another warfighter. Thank you.
Oh, sir. Thank you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your evening.
Take that to your car.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. How you doing?
Wow.
That's a big axe right there.